Welcome folks to another Wobbly Cam production. Just wanted to share with you what happened last night. We decided we were going to try and make the best of things during lockdown and try some things that we haven't had time or the opportunity to do before. So last night we had a fire pit. Nothing particularly unusual about that, but what came next was what made it a little bit different, and that is that we set up camp under the stars. Marcia's sleeping bag's gone in already, but she was in bed just before 10 o'clock, which is a lot later than normal, and she went straight to sleep. We were expecting her to be maybe scared of the sounds of the night or whatever, or wide-eyed at the stars, but no, straight to sleep. Anyway, it wasn't as warm as it is during the day. We had as many layers as possible. I even wore a hat on top of my head, and lying in bed we were struck by a number of different things. First thing we were struck by is the sounds coming from this railway cutting, the old Devizes railway that passes across the bottom of our garden. The noises from in there, it was like we were sleeping in the jungle. It was crashing and banging and branches breaking and animals squealing, so whether it was foxes or badgers having a bit of play, no idea, but it kept me wide awake for ages. And then lay on the bed listening away to, well, the sounds of the night, but also just staring up into space, and what we could see was the most amazing night sky. And as we lay there, right above our heads was the plough pointing due north, but we saw satellite after satellite tracking across the sky, and it seems that they move in two directions. One lot of satellites periodically would go from right to left, and other sets of satellites would move from, well, the bottom to the top of the screen, which in this case was from south to north, and they would whiz by one after another and after another, and the longer we looked, the more stars we could see. I even saw a shooting star, so that was a brilliant tick. Eventually got to sleep, and then woke in the morning to that inevitable heavy dew, everything feeling slightly damp, and just not wanting to crawl out from under the covers. Still toasty warm, but having been excited. Did we get any midnight visitors from creatures? Well, we did. At one point I could hear something rustling across the tarpaulin that we'd put down, and as I looked down I just saw a tail slink past the end of Marcia's bed, and then there was a little bit of moving and a little, and up it leapt onto Marcia. It was one of our cats, thank goodness for that, and he came down, padded round the head of the bed and vanished. But that was enough to keep me wide-eyed for quite some time. But so many sounds going on. And then of course at about 4 o'clock, every bird in Britain seemed to be up in these trees at full chat, screaming their heads off. Gorgeous bird song, but when it's all going on at once at 4 in the morning, well, good morning world. So it's been a bit of a long day already, but anyway, it was beautiful to hear, sitting back and reflecting on it now. But it could have been an hour or two later, but never mind. So where am I going with all this? Well, it's simply this: we have a certain number of cards dealt to us, I think, in terms of our circumstances, our resources as we face this lockdown. And then we have what's within us, our resolve, our imagination, our creativity, and those are the things that are still within our control, if you like. And so I just invite you, I challenge you to find ways to do things differently. Yeah, last night was crazy and we won't be doing it again in a hurry. We will do it again because Marcia's begged us to, but it won't be tonight because I need to catch up on some sleep. But we found something different to do. We've made the most of this change of circumstances, this change of time, and we've found those things that we haven't been able to do before, and we've started to do them. So what are the things that you could be doing that you've been putting off before lockdown because there's just not enough time in the day or what have you? And it might be a simple thing like a going through of old paperwork and clearing it out, or changing some details on some legal stuff. It might be something as dry as that, or it might be something bonkers like we did last night, or it might be something creative, or it might be just the chance to pick up a book for the first time ever. I haven't got round to that yet, but I will. Might be any number of things, but just use that time to expand your horizons, to make things different, to make things be more the way you would like them to be, and not simply let this time fold in on us. And so today, let's think and pray for those people who have limited outlooks, limited circumstances. Maybe they are single parents struggling in a high-rise. They don't have a garden as wonderful as one I've been blessed with. They don't have those opportunities to do those kind of things with their children. Maybe it's somebody who is struggling with health or has been bereaved. But let's remember those people who are struggling with their circumstances right now. Let's hold them before God, and let's, as far as we're able, let us be the presence and the love of God in their lives. Okay folks, that's it for today. Stay safe, live love.